Brothers and sisters, sad news coming in from Malawi. We were hopeful, we had stayed on alert, we had kept watching the news and hoping for better results from the tragedy that has just happened in Malawi. Unfortunately, the Vice President of Malawi, Dr. Saulos Chilima, has lost his life after a plane he was traveling on yesterday, which was Monday, the 10th of June, crashed, and it was only found today on the 11th of June. So the plane was en route from Lilongwe to Mzuzu, which is another international airport in Malawi. And unfortunately, because of bad weather, it couldn't land in Mzuzu International Airport. So it was, forced to, I don't know if it was returning back to Lilongwe or what was happening, because it was meant to land at around 10 a.m. Malawian time, after a 45 minutes journey from Lilongwe to Mzuzu. So unfortunately, because of bad weather, and we know that it's currently winter in the southern part of Africa, I think there's a lot of mist and a lot of fog. So a lot is just happening
And
there.
they are also saying that the area is mountainous. So when
And
they
there's a
have
forest,
mountains,
yeah.
so definitely this
Fog
fog.
and all of this.
So the pilot was advised to return back to Lilongwe. Then the plane disappeared from the radar. And the whole of yesterday, we've been talking about a missing plane, Malawian missing plane with the vice president.
Yeah.
And just today, they found it in the forest. What's the name of the forest?
So let me just read briefly here so that we get a full report on this story. So the flight carrying Vice President Saulos Chilima and 6 other passengers and 3 military crew members went off radar after leaving the capital Lilongwe on Monday morning. Hundreds of soldiers, police officers, and forest rangers were searching for the plane after it disappeared while making the 45 minutes flight from Lilongwe to the city of Mzuzu. It was found destroyed in a mountainous part of the Chikangawa forest, Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera said on Tuesday. He added, "I'm deeply saddened. I'm sorry to inform you all that it has turned out to be a terrible tragedy. The search and rescue team has found the aircraft near a hill. They found it completely destroyed with no survivors." He also said air traffic controllers told the plane not to attempt a landing at Mzuzu Airport because of the bad weather and poor visibility. After asking the plane to turn back to Lilongwe, Chakwera said air traffic control lost contact with the aircraft and it disappeared from radar. The group, which also included former First Lady Shanil Nzimbiri, the ex-wife of former President Pakilimuluzi, was traveling to attend the funeral of former government minister. So Chilima was seen as a potential candidate in next year's presidential election and was serving his second term as vice president.
Yeah, so there's a report that the plane was a Dornier 228 type twin propeller plane delivered to Malawian army in 1988. It's a very old 1988. Although you find many planes are very old, they just improve some things. 1988. That's like how many years ago?
Those things should be in the museum.
Yeah, it's working. So one thing about it, Malawi, it's a very poor country.
Is it?
Poor in terms of, but it's
rich,
a country
but
that have a big potential.
yeah.
Then some sources are saying that the vice president's wife was there, Mary Chilima, but she was not on the flight. Then the vice president had returned from South Korea for the African South Korea summit and was tired from traveling. So he was reluctant to travel to the funeral of the prominent lawyer in Mzuzu, but was encouraged to attend. I don't know who encouraged him to attend, because if you were tired,
You get your rest.
because he was flying to Mzuzu, because he decided he's not going to use the road, he's going to fly to Mzuzu, then come back, because Chakwera, the president of Malawi, was going to Bahamas, and he had to see him off. So that's why he used it. But on the way, they were told you cannot land in Mzuzu, you have to go back, and then it happened. The relationship between the president and vice president has been complex and often strained since they came into power. Initially, the two political leaders formed a political election alliance. They formed some coalition to win the 2020 presidential election, with Chakwera from the Malawi Congress Party and Chilima from the United Transformation Movement running on a joint ticket. This partnership was instrumental in the electoral victory against former President Peter Mutharika. And there was someone who was saying that they had agreed that it would be 5-5, like 5 years for Chakwera. Then next year, because there will be an election, it will be Chilima now becoming the president. Then in 2022, President Chakwera's government prosecuted Dr. Chilima for corruption, but the court threw out the charges last month because, as many have said, they were politically motivated to stop Chilima from running against Chakwera in 2025. So the dismissal of the corruption charges cleared the way for Dr. Saulos Chilima to run for presidency next year. So that is 2025. So the vice president once said that the two men had agreed that Chakwera would run for one term, but the president reneged on the agreement.
Yeah, because he was running for the second term as vice president.
Yeah. So it happened. So guys, those are some of the facts that I've read from X by Hopewell Chinono.
Yeah, and it's sad. A lot of Malawians are not amused about these reports because some of them feel like even the reporting of this incident took forever. Since the time when the plane was stopped from landing, there were no reports to the public because this is a public figure. We want to know everything that is happening when it's somebody we elected into office. So they feel like it was reported very late because this happened at around 10 a.m. and reports came in at night around, was it 10 p.m.? From the president. That is when the president came out and said this has been happening.
It was after the independent sources, like people like you and I,
insinuating.
Started now talking about it.
Now that the president had to come out and talk about it. That has been one complaint that the public has had about this issue. Like, why did it take so long for us to even get information from the government about this very big public figure? And then another thing that they are complaining about is that the first people that the president ran to for support or for assistance in finding or locating this plane was the US, Israel, UK, and what's the other country? These countries are very far from Malawi, outside the continent. People are asking, what is the role of SADC? We have a political wing within SADC that could have handled this matter with the agency that it needed, because if it's a plane missing and at some point it was not being located on the Malawian airspace, then the neighbors should be also looking and searching around if maybe the plane has landed in their countries, but you are not reporting or you are not asking them for help.
And
why?
Another thing is, this place is not very far from where people live. Definitely some people had something. But it's very complicated, guys. So our heartfelt condolences go to the people of Malawi. We hope that you find solace.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it comes at a time when Kenya lost the army chief commander, and then now Iran lost their President Raisi. Same incident, same army, I don't know what. Guys, we can insinuate, we can whatever, but the only person that knows what happened is God, and we leave everything to God because we can't do anything about it. We can only send our condolences to the family of all these loved ones. 10 people, that is a lot. From a state plane, that should have... I don't even want to continue talking about this because it's just saddening. And to the Malawians, sorry for this. We hope that you find comfort and God will provide, you with a good leader and somebody that will stand in the place of Chilima, because most of you guys will know that you were looking forward to voting for him in next year's election. So guys, that is all that we have to report from the Malawi incidents, and we are hoping to see you in the next one.
Bye bye.